Hi! Welcome back. The Enfield beta is now finally online and soon I will be releasing my first impressions review of this game, but right now, we actually have what seems to be the finalized gacha system for this game, and it's looking so much better than what we thought before. So here are Arknights Endfield's gacha system details revealed. Just before we jump into the content, I've got something I want to talk to you about. Creating these videos over the past 2 years has been super fun, but it's also a lot of work. So help me make more content for you by checking out Rage Shadow Legends. I'm sure you all know about it at this point. It's a fun fantasy-themed turn-based RPG game, all about collecting characters and fighting powerful enemies. It's got all the RPG game essentials, tons of amazing gameplay, and incredibly fleshed out endgame content. So, if you're a fan of this stuff, you're going to love it. You'll also get rewards valued at more than $200 by downloading it using my link in the description and the pinned comment. It's free, you won't regret it, and I would really appreciate it. Now let's get on to the content. So starting off with the basics, 6-star characters have a 0.8% chance of dropping, 5 stars with an 8%, and the remaining 91.2% is for 4-star characters. In Arknights Endfield, you don't get weapons as filler in the character banner, you get more characters. Honestly, their meta viability is questionable, but at least the roster is a lot more fleshed out, although I don't think they'll add too many 4 stars if I'm being honest. Getting the rate up operator is a 50-50, although it's not like the big 4 games where that 50-50 is split between the rate up and standards. Instead, the last 2 operators on banner are included with the standards, so the current Levitain is going to stay on the chartered headhunting banner for the next 2 banners, and if you lose a 50-50, you have a chance of getting her. This is a much better solution to the 50-50 thing, and is almost similar in how OG Arknights does it, but operators on chartered headhunting will end up leaving and will not return until they get a rerun. This certainly angered a lot of Arknights players, but for the type of game Endfield is, I don't think this will really be an issue. I do think that a lot of people will also hate the 50-50 thing, and a lot of games are also getting rid of it. I don't think removing it is really wise for Endfield specifically, so increasing it to a 75-25 would be a much better option, but I also don't think they're going to change that. A 6-star operator is guaranteed at 80 pulls, and that is of course where you will roll your 50-50, although the rate up operator is guaranteed at 120 pulls. This 120 pity does not carry over between banners and only applies once per banner. The only way to guarantee the rate up operator is by hitting that 120, there is no 50-50 guarantee. The 80 pity or every other 6-star you will get will be a 50-50. This is both good in some ways and bad in many others, because you could get 119 6-stars and none of them be the on-banner characters, so you will have to hit 120 to guarantee. This system does also sort of incentivize you to only pull when you have 120 pulls, so you can guarantee the 6-star, unless you have less than 120 and want to test your luck. There is a soft pity as well, with your chances to pull a 6-star increasing by 5% every pull after 65. There's also a dupe guarantee, where you will get a dupe of the rate up character every 240 pulls. This is just a whale guarantee, so it doesn't really matter for F2P players unless they saved up and want to splurge on a certain favorite. Now, I don't think this system is necessarily better or worse than the big 4 games, they're kinda on equal grounds. The only difference will be made once we really figure out how much currency you get in Arknights Endfield every patch. Now, there are 5 different types of character acquisition gacha currencies in Endfield. Oro Barrel is the gem currency, like Stellar Jade and Astride and Primo gems. However, so far it doesn't seem like you can actually exchange it for any gacha tickets, although you can use Oro Barrel on every banner except the New Horizons banner, which is like the starter banner in other games. There's the standard headhunting permit for the standard banner and chartered headhunting permits for the limited banner. Then, there are 2 other types of permits for each limited banner. Those are unique to each banner and will expire with those banners. So, if you have 41 Firewalker's Trail permits during Levitain's banner and don't use them, they will disappear into the Sea of Butterflies. Although I don't think you get those from any F2P sources, so they're not going to replace any normal, non-limited, and non-Sea of Butterflies perishable chartered headhunting permits. Those are only for the whales. We don't have access to the store right now, but if I were to guess, they might be a slightly cheaper option than non-perishable headhunting permits. So, if a whale wants to spend 240 tickets on Levitain's banner, they might only have to spend, for example, $80 instead of $100. Now, we get to the weapon system. At first, I was really excited about this system, but then I realized something that isn't very cool about it. So, pulling a character gives you arsenal tickets. A 4-star is 20, a 5-star is 200, and a 6-star is 2000. Every temple you do in Arknights Endfield will guarantee you at least 380 arsenal tickets, those being from 1 5-star and 9 4-stars. You can use these arsenal tickets to acquire weapons through directly buying them or through gambling for them. A 6-star weapon costs 2,480 tickets, while a gacha attempt costs 1,980, so obviously it's much better to buy them, right? Wrong! We don't actually know as of now if you'll be able to buy limited weapons. Currently, Levitane's weapon is only acquirable through gambling, which is a shame, but in the last beta you could buy Yvonne's weapon, so we'll have to see. I pray to God they don't make us gacha for weapons, because although a 6-star weapon has a 4% chance of dropping, it's still a whole ass 25/75. That's right, you have a 25% chance of getting the weapon you want versus a 75% chance of not. I pray to God they change this. In the end, I don't exactly know how to feel about this. I like some parts and hate some others, but it will all depend on how much currency Arknights Endfield gives us, and if it's a lot, then we can rest easy. I'm going to assume it's around 100 pulls per patch, which should be a pretty good amount for most players, so that's everything I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this in the future, and join the Express Rain Discord server for a fun and lovely community to hang out with. Remember to check out Raid Shadow Legends using my link in the description and pinned comment to get $200 worth of free goodies. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you next time.